This is the Puck Junk Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Puck Junk Hockey Podcast. I'm Sal Berry, and with me is Tim Parrish and Clemente Lisi. And today we're going to talk about the 2025-26 Fleer Ultra Hockey Card Set. We're also going to talk a little bit about the first round of the NHL playoffs because they've been super exciting. There's been some upsets. There's been some sweeps. So I think it's been a lot of fun so far, these playoffs. But let's get caught up because it's been a while since we've had all of us here in the same Zoom room. It's not even being in the same room, and this isn't even Zoom, it's StreamYard, but you know what I mean? Like all together now. So let's see. I think last podcast it was you and me, Clemente, right? We talked about Series 2.
That's right.
Yeah. So Tim, we got to get caught up with Tim. Tim, I mean, some listeners have said we always care about how Tim is doing. Please continue to ask how Tim is doing. So we are compelled.
I call those listeners liars.
No, do not insult our listeners.
No one cares how I feel.
Them.
No one cares about me. No one cares how I feel. It's okay. No, I've just been busy. It's just like one thing after another. It's a busy time of year at work. It's a busy time of year life-wise. So things kind of got out of hand there for a bit. So, but I'm here today.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's all I can guarantee is that I'm here right now.
And we're going to talk more about the Penguins and the Flyers, but how did you take that? It's never fun to see your favorite team get eliminated from the playoffs.
How did I take it? Well, as a fan who had next to no expectations going into the season, and even less so right around American Thanksgiving, it was like being on borrowed money. Yes. So I was happy that they made the playoffs. It was nice to see down the stretch at the end them banking all of those loser points so that they pulled ahead of everybody else within the division and got to the spot where they were. I mean, there was no way they were overtaking first, so that's, that was what it was. But that being said, I don't like that matchup. I didn't like how that was set up, and I don't think the Penguins responded to that as well. Rick Tocchet is not that far removed from being on the Penguins team, and he knows the core group of players probably better than any other coach in the league. So,
wait, on the team, not as a player, you mean as a coach?
Yes, as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, you just
said he was the coach of the Penguins.
Yeah, and he's coached a lot of teams. He was the coach of the
Coyotes
as well.
My point is he was assistant coach on the Penguins with that squad not that long ago.
Yep.
I mean, other than the rookie guys and the younger guys that have come up and the trades that were made, the core group is the same. He knows them well. He knows how they play, and he knows they're getting up there in age. All they had to do was put a speed game in front of them and make them fight through the neutral zone. And that's what they did. Philly played that 1-1-3. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. I mean, pretty much the whole way through until the Penguins finally found a way to dump and chase and beat it. And then it was too late. I mean, they expended all they had in the tank just to win the two games that they did.
So when we talk about this playoff series later on, I'll just ask our listeners to rewind about 5 minutes back to this part of the podcast.
You asked. That's my opinion.
I did. Yeah. No. That's some solid analysis there. But I also got to ask Clemente how he's doing because people also care about Clemente.
I'm great, and people know I'm a Rangers fan, and we had a pretty horrible season. So no horse in the playoffs. So watching the playoffs for me is fun because as a neutral, it's a little bit easier to, enjoy the drama without feeling personally connected to it. And then
Do you
other than
have-
that, yeah. And
Do you
other
have a
than that,
second? Oh, go ahead. Finish. Yeah, sorry.
no, I was gonna say, other than that, I battle spring allergies every year around this time. I know. Do I have a second team?
Yeah,
Not
that's
real.
what I was going to ask.
Not really. Not really. But I will say, because I know you guys and I know Tim, I was, I'm pretty much an anti-Flyers person, so I was cheering for the Penguins to,
Because why wouldn't you be?
yeah, and surge to try to push a Game 7. That would have been really fun. But we'll talk about that later.
I would think that Rangers fans don't like the Flyers. I would think, Penguins fans definitely don't like the Flyers. And then I would think that Devils fans don't like the Flyers just because of the proximity. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure Flyers fans don't like the Flyers.
No, they love the Flyers, but they hate everybody else, and that's the problem. And so it's a Philly sports thing. If people listening who are from Philly or Philly fans, they know it doesn't matter if it's baseball or football. This is kind of a Philly sports culture thing. And so, yeah, if they get to the finals, like the championship series, that would be torture for me if the Flyers got that far. But
I'll give the Flyers fans this: at least they don't throw D batteries onto the ice.
Anything significant about D batteries?
Well, they're very heavy.
Yeah.
And
I think a C battery would hurt more. D batteries. I'm sorry, you said D batteries.
Yeah.
I was thinking 9-volt when you said D. I was like, yeah, D batteries for like my smoke alarm. Those aren't like, those D batteries.
No.
Okay, yeah, those
fans
are.
chuck D batteries at players on the field in an Eagles game years and years ago. And they boo Santa Claus, and they have the worst
ice at him.
league.
They do ice at Santa Claus. I mean, it's
they have the worst mascot in hockey. He's a freak. He's weird.
I don't even know.
He promotes violence.
I don't even know what uses D batteries anymore. Those used to be for those big ass flashlights, but now everything uses LED lights, and you could power those with like a button battery. Or
I have a mag light that still uses Ds.
Really?
That thing's great.
Well, it's probably part flashlight, part weapon.
Yeah,
absolutely. You could beat the living crap out of somebody with it.
Well, it was funny. Like when I worked at the mall, all the mall cops had mag lights, and I asked somebody just about that, and they're like, "Well, they're not trained. They can't carry guns, and they're not trained to use nightsticks, but they can all carry a flashlight."
It's a baton, essentially.
I'm like, why do we don't need flashlights? There's like the mall is well lit. Why are they all carrying flashlights?
No gun, no nightstick, but here's an 8-pound flashlight.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean it's it's fun because we got the hockey playoffs going on, and I'm excited about that. I mean, we all get busy from time to time. I mean, just other stuff has kept me busy these past couple of weeks. So I'm just like super excited that we could record an episode because, we just got to make the most of it while we can. So, So anyway, so here's what is on the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the 2026 first round playoff upsets, and we're going to talk about the 2 sweeps. So we had 4 upsets and we had 2 sweeps. And then we're going to talk about Fleer Ultra because why not? I mean, it's a set. It came out a couple months ago. Recently came out, I think, about a month and a half ago. Came out recently on EPAC. So Tim already talked in depth about the Flyers upsetting the Penguins 4-3. And then we had let's see. We had Anaheim upset Edmonton. That surprised me. We had Minnesota upset Dallas. That did not surprise me. We had Montreal upset Tampa Bay. I think that surprised everybody. And then we had Philadelphia upsetting the Penguins. And I don't think I was really surprised by that. Like, I mean, if I had to pick a team, I'd pick the Penguins 10 times out of 10. But I was just surprised at that. But,
what are we using to define upset? Just by rankings?
By rankings. Okay, so and here's the thing, though, is that the rankings are really tenuous. I don't know how many points, it could have been separated by a point or 2. I don't have those committed to memory. But if you look at all of these, it's like the Central 2 team and the Central 3 team, and the Pacific 2 upset the Pacific 3. So these weren't really like the top seed getting upset by the wild card. These were just like those middle of the Pac teams upsetting each other, which kind of just shows how interchangeable they are, and how like really whether if Pittsburgh finished second or third, they'd still play the Flyers. The outcome would probably still be the same. So yeah, when I say upset, I kind of just use that a little loosely. Although I do think that Montreal beating Tampa Bay is an upset. I do think the Ducks beating the Oilers, given the fact that they've been in the finals the last 2 years, is an upset. I mean,
yeah, I agree with that.
Ducks
over Oilers is definitely an upset. Only 1 point separated them in the standings, though.
Yeah,
that was a 93 to a 92. So if you go by strictly the points, there's not much there. But yes, Edmonton back to back going to the finals. You have two of the best players in hockey on that team. I mean, Anaheim looked outmanned and outgunned. Well, that's not what happened.
No.
The Wild and Stars should not have been a first round matchup. I don't care who people are. That is the poster boy for reconfigure the way the playoffs are set up.
Yes.
Because that should not have been a first round matchup. I mean, sure, the Stars were far and away ahead of where the Wild were finishing the season, but obviously the outcome didn't go that direction. And I'm not just saying this because I've picked the Stars to go to the finals every year for the last 5 years. Because I have. But, yeah, Canadians Lightning, definitely. I didn't see the Lightning going down like that. Not a John Cooper coach team. But here we are. And like I said, the Penguins Flyers, Penguins were just glad to be there. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I don't even know that I would call that an upset. That's an upset based off of the numbers themselves. Because you figure at the end of the season, when all was said and done, the only reason why the Penguins finished ahead was the tiebreaker. So, because they had the same points.
Right. Clemente, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the biggest upset is Dallas. But, I think they broke down at the, just when they needed to really raise their game in the playoffs. I mean, like 5-on-5, they weren't scoring goals. They're giving up they're giving up too many penalties, defensively terrible. The other thing that, the Oilers, that's an upset, but are we really, really surprised? I mean, I feel like we talk about the same thing every year, goaltending, defense. Because they have McDavid and Draisaitl. I also wonder too, and
they fixed goaltending though. They got Tristan Jarry. Come on.
Yeah, they fixed it. But the other issue too, and I don't have this sort of like I didn't look at it, the data. Maybe next time we talk playoffs, we will. I wonder if the Olympics had an impact on this. I feel like a lot of the guys who played on Team Canada, they're not on. They're getting bounced out. We had Crosby, we had McDavid. Draisaitl played for Germany. I just wonder if there's guys who played at the Olympics. Was that expending too much energy in the middle of the season? I don't know. And it may not matter in the end. But with McDavid,
Crosby sat out for a while with that injury.
Well, he was injured. He was injured at the Olympics too, right? But
all the talk now, though, is McDavid was playing with something. I mean, it'll come out, but that's all people are talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, injuries matter at this point of the season. The Stars were missing Rupa Hintz. It's just with McDavid, because he's such an iconic player, everyone follows what the Oilers are doing. So Oilers getting bounced out this early is a thing, obviously. And, it's interesting to see what they do and how they rebuild and whether he sticks around. Like, will he end his career there? That's a question I always ask. Because he might want to jump ship at some point and go to a team that's already sort of assembled and in position to win the Stanley Cup. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the West, because with Dallas and the Oilers gone, that's like wide open now for maybe a Ducks or somebody else to get to the finals, which would be interesting.
The intensity that the Ducks played with in that series was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally insane. And the Ducks are fun to watch. They were fun to watch all year, just like the Sharks. They're fun to watch too.
You were saying that months ago. You were saying that, and we should apologize to listeners, because we're all you guys are Central. I'm on the East Coast. I don't watch a lot of the West because it's on late,
right?
And so there's a lot of this that is new to me. So when it's the playoffs, and they're playing in the middle afternoon or something, or early evening, and it's in the
Right.
West, but it's playoffs, I will watch to see, because I think the West is exciting. But I don't watch a lot of it during the regular season. And I know that you were saying that about Anaheim during the year, about the Sharks, even though they're not here, they're exciting to watch. I just don't watch enough of those games, unfortunately.
Do you notice watching the West Coast teams? I always get the impression, like when I watch the West Coast teams play, I always sit there and feel like, why do these guys look 10 times faster than anybody in the East? Like the game just seems like it moves
faster,
quicker.
younger. Yeah, it's true. It's almost
It's like
when
a
we saw the
weird
Olympics.
phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like this weird Coriolis effect that's happening.
I think
Everything
it's
seems
because
faster.
I think it's because we're just not watching enough of those games, and maybe people in the West are watching the East and going like, "Oh, these guys are fast." I don't know.
You know? I mean, I watch a lot of. I watch whenever there's a West Coast game. I try to watch it because, I mean, sometimes I don't get home till like after 6 p.m. Chicago time, and by then the East Coast games have started. And I'll prioritize if the Blackhawks are on, but then after that, like I was be like, oh, I could catch the second and third period of the Ducks game or the Sharks game or the Canucks game or whatever. Like now I'm getting older, and I think I've caught myself nodding off. I forgot what the game was, but it went to overtime, and I watched the first overtime, and I was nodding off, and then whatever the team it was, and I want to say was it Anaheim or was it I think it was a Vegas game, and they scored with like 2 minutes left in like the first OT, and I'm like, oh, thank God, like because I didn't want to like stay up another intermission and then try to watch a second period or second overtime period because I was already falling asleep. So once they scored that goal, I turned off the TV. I said, I don't need to see the post game. That's it. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. But yeah, I'll try to watch a game that's on at 6:30 my time and 9:30 my time, and just have hockey on for 6 hours. And to me, that's an ideal evening. So yeah, I love those games, but they're getting, and yeah, if I was in New York, yeah, it would be harder to do that. One thing I want to just throw out real quick, I wanted to mention this earlier when we talked about Tampa Bay and Montreal. So Victor Hedman was out. And that's kind of a big deal because he's an important player on the team. And I mean, he's their number one defenseman. He's their team captain. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And so that was just kind of curious, that he was, he didn't, I'm looking at his stats right now on NHL.com, and his last game was March 19th against the Canucks. So he didn't play any playoff games. And, that's, you look at like who they were missing. I'm sure I think they were missing a couple other players. And then of course, like Montreal was playing well. I mean, Slavkovsky had that hat trick in game one. Cole Caulfield, or Cofield for short. Cole Caulfield, came off a 50-goal season. So it's like a lot of their young, good players are playing great. And then of course, Jakub Dobis, their goaltender, played well, especially in game 7. And they asked a very interesting question. No, actually, the question was pretty routine. The answer was interesting. They said to him, they're like, well, what do you think? You played in a game 7 and you won. And how did you handle the pressure of playing game 7? And Dobis said, you know what? I've treated every game this season like a game 7. Because he was like a bubble player. You know what I mean? He was like second or third on the depth chart. He'd come in and play a game, he'd challenge, and then after a while, it looked like, all right, he's going to be the backup. And then there were injuries, and then he was a starter, and then he played good for a stretch, and then he played bad for a stretch, and then he was the backup, and then he was like, so he was kind of like all over the place.
Well, look, we know, first of all, we know the playoffs, a lot of it is mental. Yep. And second of all, a hot goalie in the playoffs is a real big deal. And you don't need to be like Patrick Waugh. Any goalie can get hot for 6 weeks, and you get to the finals. So it's, keep an eye on Montreal. You never know. I mean, at this point, they're going to be the flag bearers for Canada here,
Well, let's also be honest here. They won that game on a fluke. I'm not saying they played bad, but they played bad offensively. They had No shots on goal in the second period. They finished the game with 9 shots, and 4 of them came in the first period. And they scored 2 goals, both off of ricochets.
No, but that second goal, that game-winning goal, I'm not going to call that a fluke goal. That was a smart goal. He banked the goal, the puck off the goalie and into the net.
Okay, but 9 out of 10, that's not going in.
That goes wide or whatever.
It's worth the shot, though.
It was worth a shot because it obviously worked. But that's what I'm saying. That was kind of fluky, and it happened, and it was great. And the first goal was like a pinball.
Yep.
Bounced off of multiple things before it went in.
Yep.
So it's like, what was Vasilevsky supposed to do on either of those? Nothing.
Right.
He couldn't do anything. So he stopped everything else. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of work, but that's the other thing. Yeah, you get a hot goalie, or you get a goalie that gets no work and gets to sit out there and watch the game happen in front of him.
Well, then your defense is doing their job, right? I mean,
it is, but you still have to keep them engaged because goalie, you know how goalies.
No,
are.
I know.
Goalies have that stigma of being the weirdos and the crazy people,
right?
So
right.
they need to be part of that. They, if you're a defender, go back there, like pass them the puck, have them push the puck out.
You got to get some touches.
When you're reloading,
some feels. Yeah,
no,
yeah, exactly.
I agree with that.
Let him in that. And I know Vasilevsky's an all-world player, and he probably doesn't need the kid gloves to be handled with, but still. This is a game 7. It's pivotal, and you're about to get bounced, and it's that you get bounced by bounce goals. You're bounced by bounce goals.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's a game of inches, and there's not a lot of room out there in the playoffs, and everything is heightened, and it's like a lucky bounce here and a greasy goal there. You're in, and
dude,
that's what we had.
Do you remember who scored that goal off the Montreal goal that bounced off of Vasilevsky? I should try to pull up a box score, but what's it called? That reminds me of one of my favorite beer league goals that I scored as a shitty low level beer league player. Because I didn't score many goals, so I could probably tell the story about all of them because they were all like just because there's only like
Newhook.
Newhook. Okay, yeah.
Newhook got the game winner.
Oh my God, Newhook! Remember when we thought he was going to be like a big deal with Colorado, and he bounced around a bit, but
he's actually the only guy on the Canadiens roster that has a cup because of Colorado.
Well, that's good. But I was going to say, I remember. One time I picked up the puck. I was playing wing. I was playing left wing, and I picked up the puck in the corner, or just right. It bounced off the wall, and I was on the goal line. So you really can't score along the goal line. But the goalie was on the far post, and he started to come towards me, and I couldn't hit the net, and I just shot it right in his chest. And it caught him off guard. And he you know what I mean? Like a goalie's used to like deflecting the puck and getting in front of it and getting squared to the shooter and stuff. But like I didn't try to aim for the net. I just aimed it right for him, and it ricocheted off of him into the net. He was pissed about that because. But so I love stuff like that. I mean, I remember Mario Lemieux doing a goal like that. Well, probably more than one goal like that. But I remember one where he was just like behind the goal line extended, and he just like banked the puck off of I want to say it was like the back of the goalie's butt or his leg or something. I mean, that's good stuff. You got to try that stuff. And, it takes all kinds of goals. You know what I mean? You're not always going to win on the breakaway or on the 5-on-3 or on the man advantage or on like the one-timer, right? The set play. You're going to get a lot of those just fluky, funky goals. I mean, what's funny about last night's 2 games is that the Avalanche scored 9 goals and Montreal had 9 shots in their game. So way different.
I think they actually had 10. There was one earlier that they didn't count as a shot on goal.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
sometimes I don't understand what the criteria is, but
because
you'll be like, yeah, the goalie made the save. And then you wait for the number to change and it never changes. And it's like, well, they didn't count that because the angle of the shot wouldn't have gone in the net. So it's inconsequential that the goalie played the puck.
It wasn't meant to be a scoring chance. Right?
Like, this is somebody's job. They just sit there and analyze the angles of shots and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Well, if the goalie stops the puck and it's not going to go in the net anyways, then that doesn't count as a shot. So,
right. There's no real threat. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But whatever. And then also like if it hits the post, that doesn't count as a shot, I don't think.
Right.
Which is weird. I learned that when I did a little bit of hockey scorekeeping, and I was told like, no shot off the post, that doesn't count as if it hits off the post, that doesn't count as a shot on goal. And I'm just like, well, it kind of seems like a shot on goal to me, but or I don't know. But anyway, so that was some fun times. But yeah, I mean, the Wild obviously are crushing it, and it is too bad that they had to play Dallas in the first round. It's kind of like when we got those, 10 years ago or so, when we'd get like Pittsburgh and Washington in the first round, and we'd be like, I don't know, this needs to be like a second round or third round kind of game and not like a first round type thing.
That's the thing, where you're going to have, to quote good old JR, a slobber knocker of a match like that. You don't want that to be your opening scene. That has to like sit for later as you build up, and they both get there, and then they're going to face, because it's got that much more, power behind it.
You got to clarify which JR you're talking about, because our listeners would assume you mean Jeremy Roenick, which I know you don't mean Jeremy Roenick.
No, it's Jim Ross. It's a wrestling thing.
Yeah, no, I remember Monday Night Raw, for better or for worse, back in the day in college when my roommates would watch it. And so
your roommates were smart.
I won't argue with that. Okay, let's talk about some of these sweeps, because I thought this was interesting. Not interesting, but not surprising. Maybe a little surprising. No, Colorado was the best team in the league. So the Kings, it's just like, all right, thank you, come again, right? It was just like you look at that and you're just like, I get it. You want to have 8 teams per conference, but what did the Kings get out of this other than 2 more home games to sell tickets to? Because that was really it. I mean, it wasn't even a competition, really. I mean, and that's unfair to the Kings, but because Colorado, again, being the best team by far in the league, if you look at the standings. But I think I was a little more surprised, though, by Ottawa just being 4-out like that. That was a little surprising to me, just a little bit.
Yeah, in my opinion, both of these were bad pairings for the lower seed team.
Of course.
Because
the
Kings are decent on defense, I think, but they struggle a little bit on offense. And the Colorado Avalanche are not the team that you want to struggle on offense against at all. So they were completely outmatched when it came to that. And with the depth and firepower that the Avalanche have, I mean, the Kings didn't match up to that. So you can't create offensive opportunities when you have that team on the other side. You have to be able to play physical and take the game to them, and they couldn't do that. The Hurricanes they're just cold and calculating. And I don't, the Canes have been there the last few years. They're that team. They haven't made it to the promised land, but they're there. They're that team. And I don't know. I like the Hurricanes this year. I don't know that there's a team in the Eastern Conference that matches up pound for pound with them. I thought Tampa was. I thought wrong. So I don't think there's anyone left, at least in my opinion.
Well, Buffalo or the Flyers.
Okay.
It's not going to be the Flyers.
Yeah, you could say Buffalo. You could say the Flyers. I think they're going to make easy work of the Flyers, in my opinion. I don't know that Buffalo matches up well to them. Buffalo is another one that's just like so excited to be there for the first time in since all my children, I think, have been born.
14 years.
All right, maybe a little less.
But you're talking about the TV show, or you're talking about your actual children?
My actual children.
Okay, when you said all my children, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were a fan.
Soap opera reference, just drop it.
I used to like Guiding Light, and I was into Days of Our Lives.
You're very multifaceted. You go from wrestling to daytime soap operas, Tim.
I'm deep.
You're deep, man. You got range there, my friend.
I do. So I don't want to say they're playing on house money, but this is one of those big pushes behind them because they have all that motivation and all of that wave that's coming behind them. They're scary. I mean, the fact that you've got guys like, Rasmus Dahlin, who's a finalist for the Masterson this year. You've got players like Tage Thompson, who's stepped up his game immensely the last couple seasons. Alex Tuck, who's playing way above his pay grade, I think, at this point. So they're a scary team. I wouldn't want to go up against them, but I think the Hurricanes could best them if it comes down to that. That's just my opinion.
I'll just add. Look, I think Tim's analysis of the East is spot on. I'll tackle the Avalanche. I mean, best team in hockey, and we talk about the seedings here, but the regular season matters. I mean, not sure, maybe squeezing in at the last minute is for some teams just enough. You said, what do they get out of it? They get 2 home games. Well, okay, they get 2 home games, and there's always potential for upset. I mean, forget the Florida Panthers a couple of years ago, right? They were that team, so it's always possible. But I feel like we forget the regular season it's not just a seeding tournament. Ultimately, it is, but it's a slog. And I think if you don't up your game post All-Star game and try to get the best seeding as possible, I mean, you're not just fighting to just squeeze into the playoffs. You want to really, finish 1, 2, 3, maybe, right? And then it matters here because then you get to play a punching bag team like the Kings, and then you just sail through. And I think those days of rest really matter for these big teams. Like, I think even Carolina, like, it'll be interesting to see what happens because these other series we talk about went to 7 games. That's a lot less time to recuperate if you're injured or tired or fatigued or travel, all that stuff. So I'd be curious to see what happens long-term with the Hurricanes and the Avalanche.
Yeah, I don't know if the rest versus rust discussion is even a discussion. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's like, oh, well, they had 6 days off because they swept the other team. And it's just like, all right, well, they're still practicing. They're still training. I get it. It's not the same intensity, but I mean, what would you rather do? Like, sweep your opponents and have 6 days off, or win in 7 games and have to start round 2 nights later? Well,
yeah, look. I think rust would be a thing if, like, let's say you had a bye. Like, let's say teams had a play in and then you had a bye.
Right. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah. But there's no rust here. 6 days is not rust. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought. I think in a sport like baseball, you want to keep playing because it's baseball. They're not really doing anything for 9 innings. They're scratching themselves for the most of the game. But in hockey, you're going to play your best players. You're going to give them more minutes. There's going to be a lot of that. And I feel like in the end, I'd rather have 6 days than 2. That just means, especially early on. And then as you get closer, to the finals themselves, that matters less. But I think I agree with you, Sal. I don't think it's much of an issue. That rust is not an issue here. And maybe we're looking at a Colorado-Carolina finals, maybe. Who knows?
As I called it in the newsletter, the battle of the natural disasters. Because you got Avalanche versus Hurricanes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the battle of the natural disasters, right? I mean, it would be if we had Penguins versus Ducks, it would be the bird battle, right? But that ain't happening.
Which was also a wrestling tag team of old, the Natural Disasters.
Really?
In case we want to roll it back to wrestling things.
A lot of wrestling talk tonight. Tonight.
That was the Hurricane and Typhoon.
I remember that. I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. But I'm. But like I said, so far it's been interesting, and then you wonder if Brady Tkachuk is. I mean, he's under contract, I think, for another year or two. I know he signed like a 7-year deal back in like 2020, I believe. But I mean, well, okay, couple of thoughts here. We brought up McDavid earlier, right? And it's like, how many chances? I get it. That's his team. He's the greatest, he and Gretzky 1 and 2, 2 and 1, whatever, right? Like as far as like Oilers go, Edmonton history. I mean, but if McDavid played on the Red Wings, he'd arguably be the greatest Red Wing to ever play. You know what I mean? Like it's
sure.
But I guess what I'm getting at is like, how many chances do you keep giving the Oilers? And I mean, when they made that trade with the Penguins, and I thought, all right, well, maybe Jarry will regain his form. Tristan Jarry regain his all-star form with the Oilers. Maybe he just needs to have a better team in front of him. And what did they do? They end up playing Connor Ingram for like most of the games because Jarry wasn't doing well. So they're playing a backup goalie that's, I don't even know if he'd be a backup on another team. I mean, maybe, but I guess what I'm saying is like, how many years does he have to wait for them to get some goaltending help? I thought the other trades that they made were pretty good. I thought the other guys that they brought in were pretty good. I mean, I thought that I've seen him play a lot, because he played Connor Murphy, played with the Blackhawks for 11 or 12 years or something like that. I want to say since 15, 16, just the year after they won the Cup, if I remember correctly. And so when he went to Edmonton, he fit right in, and he was a good fit on the team, and he was the kind of defenseman that they needed. And I thought, okay, that's a good pickup. They made a couple of good pickups, but then they just didn't shore up their goaltending. And I get it. Like, number one goalies don't grow on trees, and they don't just fall from the sky, right? So
no, but spend the money. I mean, you can spend the money, but I don't want to go on a bit of a tangent. I'm going to let Tim tackle this, but all I want to say is it took, as you pointed out in the newsletter, Sal, took Ovechkin 13 seasons, right, to win a cup, and McDavid's at 12 now, right?
Something like that,
right.
So 5 to 6, and he won 8. So
it's not unprecedented for a player not to win it. But if I'm him, I'm going to start to worry because you get to the finals twice, you win MVP, you don't win the cup, now you get knocked out in the first round.
I mean, Ray Bork's our ultimate example.
Right,
22 seasons.
Okay, but that's a little particular in the end, that the way he won it. But what I'm getting at is, I feel like, I don't know, if I'm doing some soul searching in the off season, if I'm him, that's all.
Yeah. Tim?
Oilers, they're a mess. There's no other way to describe it other than they're a mess. Because, look, you've got McDavid. He's the focus of the league. Crosby's no longer in the spotlight. Ovechkin's no longer in the spotlight. And I know that's funny to say when he's the all-time leading scorer, because they're past their prime. There's going to be a point in time when they walk away where the next generation is going to be like, who? Just like some of the younger people are like, yeah, Gretzky, I've heard of that guy. But they don't know. They have no frame.
They never saw him play.
They've never seen him play.
They weren't born yet. Yeah.
Yeah, just the same way we handle like the Gordie Howes of the world. We know they're great. We've never seen them play,
right?
Because that was before us. I don't doubt their abilities. I believe what all the videos I've seen say. But they're a mess. You have McDavid. You need to build around McDavid. You need to give him a proper team. You need to build the wall of defense behind him. They fail to do this every single year. You've been a basement team for years and years and years and years. How many times? year after year after year, the draft lottery would come around and the Oilers had a top 10 pick, if not a top 5 pick, if not the number 1 pick, like 3 times in 5 years.
I think they had it was,
and they'd blow it.
That they had Yakupov, they had Taylor Hall, they had Neil Yakupov, they had Connor McDavid, and they had Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah, and Nugent Hopkins, solid player, long career in the NHL.
Yeah,
McDavid, arguably the best player in the world. Taylor Hall had flashes of greatness, was involved in a crazy trade at one point.
Won the Hart Trophy one year.
Yeah, but overall, he's kind of been that journeyman guy that you're like, we need some leadership. Oh, Taylor Hall's available. Let's go grab that guy.
Right.
And Yakupov, what happened to him? I think he's like doing dishes in the back of a Denny's somewhere. So we've got like all of these wasted opportunities to be able to build that back end. They've never done it. They've never had solid goaltending. We talk about this all the time. Jari is not the answer. If the Penguins, who ride people way too long, gave up on a guy, he's not your answer. He's just not. And I hope the best for him too. I wanted him to revive his career. Yeah, that's not happening. And the rest of the guys around him, Connor Ingram, Calvin Pickard, come on. No, these aren't your answers, right? Nothing against Calvin Pickard. I always liked him, but whatever. They've got problems. They've got overpaid guys on the team. Darnell Nurse's contract is ridiculously stupid for his output. And I like Darnell Nurse. He's got a no movement clause. What are you going to do? You can dance around it, try to get him to waive it to get rid of him or renegotiate. That's not going to happen. So you've got a bunch of UFAs that, I don't know what you do. The way Kapanen played in the playoffs, I could see you bringing Kapanen back. I'm not just a former Penguins homer here. And Connor Murphy probably, but other than that, I don't know. You got like 9. They have 9 guys at UFA, so that's about ready to be blown up. They've got really good guys in their system, but again, you can bring up guys that are going to give you more firepower and give Connor McDavid more tools that he can use. But if you don't sear up the back end, you still have the same problems. Defense wins championships. I know I'm an old guy. I will say that until I die because it's true. If you don't have a good goaltender, and if you don't have a mediocre goaltender and a good defense in front of them, you can have guys that outscore the rest of the league, 3-1. But again, we aren't in the times back in the old days of the Oilers where, we scored 8 goals, but we gave up 7. We still won the game. That's not how things are now.
Yeah, defenses have gotten too good. Systems have gotten too good. And if you figure out how to neutralize a team like the Oilers, their top, scoring line, their top players, whatever, right? And then you could win. I mean, I know the Ducks didn't win like 2-1 necessarily, but like you can, then if you neutralize their top scoring, then the other flaws start to show. You know what I mean? When you have a guy who could go and get 2 goals and 3 assists in a game, great, you can win that regular season game. But if you're going to play him in a series and you figure out how to stop that, then all the other flaws just become that much more magnified. Then the goaltending becomes an issue. Or the defense, or in this case, both. So
yeah, and I think they've gotten to the point where they know. Well, I don't know that they know, but you would think they would know that this isn't about, hey, let's build a team to beat the Kings because we end up facing the Kings all the time in the playoffs, or let's build a team to beat the Golden Knights because that's who the favorite ends up being coming out of the West a lot of the times. You can't do that. Because then you end up with a matchup like this where you take for granted the fact that the Ducks are just happy to be there and they run you over with youth and enthusiasm. And it's like, trust me, I've been there. I taught school for a long time. I mean, not that long of a time, but long enough that I got run over by the youth I'm like, nope, I'm out. So, they have a lot of questions that have to be answered, and I don't think we're going to get those answers like right now because we're not. I mean, when you have your 2-star players that talk to the media after it's all said and done and go to locker cleanouts, and their only things to say is, doesn't matter how many leaps forward we've taken, we're in a bad place at this point in time. We're worse off than we were going into this. So something's got to change. We got to figure something out. And, is McDavid staying? Is he not staying? Is he going to go? He's going to ask for a trade, this, that, and the other. Until he says it, everybody needs to shut up about it. He's an Oiler until he's not an Oiler. So build your team around this guy. He needs it. I'm not an Oilers fan. And it might sound like I'm mad, but I'm mad because you're wasting this guy. You're wasting this guy. I don't like to see that. I lived in my lifetime of having, one of the best players to ever play the game was in the league for, a long time before he won anything. And that was Steve Yzerman. Yeah. I mean, the Penguins teams were garbage for years with Mario Lemieux on them because they couldn't build around them. And then when they did, they won cups. It's a formula. You follow the formula, you build around, you have a solid goaltender, boom. You're in and you might win. So, I don't know.
Well, Lemieux was only 6 years, but yeah, Yzerman was 13 years. Ovi was 12 years. But yeah, still, I mean, I get it. And it is maddening. It would suck to see McDavid not win the championship because of where he plays. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I mean, all we can do now is focus on the next round and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, the last thing on the Avs and Kings.
Yeah.
It was sad seeing that being Kobe's last game like that.
I know, right?
Yeah. So it was kind of anticlimactic at that point because, the whole farewell tour of going around the league and saying goodbye to everybody. And it's anytime there was a featured game on TV with the Kings, it would always be this big thing about him trading jerseys with players in the other locker room and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it stinks, but, great player, great person.
Wonder who they'll name as captain next season, or if they'll kind of take a season off and then.
Yeah, I have no idea who they name captain, but there needs to be a statue out front of that guy.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Fleer Ultra hockey card review. I opened a box of these cards and I got thoughts, but let's just get through the details first, right? So Fleer Ultra came out February 18th. So it came out a couple months ago, but it recently came out on EPAC. So I don't want to say it's finding a second life on EPAC, but like it kind of is because it came out at Hobby, or it came out as a hobby product. The box prices got really expensive. The EPAC prices only half as much. It's a 200 card set. You got 100 base veterans. You got 50 short printed veterans. And then you got another 50 rookie cards. So cards 101 through 150 are veterans, but they're short prints. And then cards 151 through 200 are rookies that are short prints. And then you have a bunch of inserts and parallels. The configuration, you're looking at 8 cards per pack, 1 rookie card per pack, and 1 short printed veteran per pack. And then you get 15 packs per box, 4 numbered cards in every box. Hobby box is costing $400. On EPAC, you're looking at $14 a pack, $200 a box, $1,950 for a 10-pack case. So this is not a cheap product, an inexpensive or necessarily affordable product. And I'm not exactly sure why. We'll just look at some of the cards here while we talk about the set. But Tim, I know you looked at this at, was it the Chicago Sports Spectacular when you were doing a little bit of shopping and you looked into like the prices of this?
Yeah, it was the only thing that seemed interesting to buy, but if I was not paying $400 a box for it, that's
Right.
for sure.
I mean, for $400, I mean, they didn't do the math on this, and I love to always say that's like $18 a pack. So let's see, $400 divided by 15 packs, so 26.66 per pack. So what do you get for $26? You get 8 cards. I mean,
Well, let me add to this that this let me add to this that
yeah,
this
please.
is a trend I think in the hobby, and this is now what 3 years of Fanatics, maybe more. Fanatics has done this with tops. The products have gotten more expensive, and I think it's spilling all over the hobby into even into Upper Deck now, because I think the assumption is that most people engage with the hobby by buying into breaks. So no one's buying a box. The breakers are buying cases of it. What do they care how much it costs? They're going to make their money by breaking it. And the truth is, they're only looking for the autograph or the numbered cards, and the rest of it ends up in the trash. I'll give you an example. This is something that's been making the rounds in the hobby. Maybe you've heard of this. Topps NBA Hoops came out recently, and a box is $400, and the jumbo box was $600. And yes, you get 8 cards per pack. And people were like appalled. NBA Hoops, we all remember that from the 90s. It's not a high end set, it's kind of a mid level, just like this product is. I think this is just something that the companies don't care if they sell less product. They're gonna make more money potentially. They're gonna sell mostly to the breakers. And then Tim or I or you, Sal, will just get into a break and hope to get what we get. Nobody collects.
Surely you're not talking about me.
No, but nobody collects sets anymore. This is what they think we're going to do. We're not doing that, so we're priced out. That's what I think is happening, and this product is following this pattern, I think.
I like your logic on that. I follow your logic completely. My only issue with that for this particular product, since we're talking about this Fleer Ultra product, this does not make sense as a breaker product, in my opinion, because when you see these breaker products out there, regardless of what the price tag is, $100 a box, $500 a box, doesn't matter. It's usually readily available. It's just people can't afford it. This one's different. There isn't the supply of this like there has been. And I think that's part of the reason why the price tag is so high. Either, I don't know, either Upper Deck choked off the supply of the physical product, because Fleer Ultra has been for the last how many years just an e-pack product. So they've been, they've cut back on the physical supply just to see, hey, I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe we should only make half as many or whatever. I don't know that to be the case, but I can tell you, going from place to place to place, not everybody had this. Only a few dealers had it. They only had a couple boxes of it, and I've never seen it anywhere else. Like my 2 local shops that I have in my area, neither of them have them, and one of them's a big one that gets all the product and gets all the allocations. And they didn't have it either. So that's my first thing. Like, this would be a group break option. I don't know how you even run this, because go through the checklist and stuff. What's in here? What are you running after? Like, what's the draw here?
So what's the chase element you're saying?
Yeah. What's the super? Is it a super short print? Is that what you're
there
looking for?
are one of one. We'll get to that when we talk about like some of the parallels, but there are like one-of-ones. There are autographed cards. There are you get 4 numbered cards per box, and I actually got more. I think you get at least 4 numbered cards per box, and like the one that seems to come across, you get pretty frequently, are the gold, which are numbered out of 250. Which I get it. Anything over 50 is kind of like, might as well be out of 1,000, right? If it's not 50 or less, or maybe 25 or less to most collectors, it's just like, might as well be out of like 1,999 or whatever, right? But so you get some you get numbered parallels, and then there's super short printed inserts. Again, we'll talk about these in a minute. I mean, please finish your thought. But yeah, so I mean, there are some things, but there's nothing, there's like no equivalent of like, say, a Kaboom or I guess Fanimation would be like the closest hockey collectors have to a Kaboom, because those are always like pretty long odds, like a Fanimation or maybe an 8-bit or whatever.
And I guess that's kind of what I was getting at. I mean, what are you chasing in here? It's not like it's full of like RPAs and stuff like that
No.
people are going to go after. So are we looking for the low numbered parallels out of this? And, if people can't get product and breakers are the only ones that are getting product, how are they breaking this? Are they breaking it by the case? Are they doing individual boxes? Because remember 12-13 Fleer Retro?
Yeah.
I equate this to kind of the same thing. Like that was around for a split second, and then all of a sudden you never saw it, and you never see it for resale anymore. I know we're far off into the future now, but still, usually this stuff, there was so much of it, you'll see occasionally it pop up once in a while. That almost never pops up, and I think a lot of breakers got burned on the stupid EX 2000 that came out. Collectors overwhelmingly hated that product.
I liked it. And, Clemente liked it too, because I think he wrote about 6 or 7 articles about it.
I'm not saying it doesn't look nice. What I'm saying is,
right,
the people that are going into group breaks and stuff,
right,
that goes over like a lead balloon.
Well, EX 2000 had like, thing. Yeah, it had like 2 cards per pack.
Yeah, so, and aesthetics are something great. I love shiny. I love to see like the old school. That's awesome. But these people are looking for like the mega super hits, and there's nothing in there that's going to knock your socks off.
They want the 1-of-1 gold, they want the rare fractor, or they want an autograph. That's it, or an RPA. I mean, if it's just a jersey piece, 99% of the time they don't care. So they want the autograph, they want the gold 1-of-1 or whatever 1-of-1, or they want the refractor that's maybe out of 10. They want that big hit. That's what they care about. And nobody really cares that like, oh, well, there's a silver version that's numbered out of 199. Well, there's not. But I'm just saying like that, like you think about like a set like Ice or Artifact, where there's like there's like 11 different color variations. And I get it. You said that's for the breakers' benefits, right? Because they say, oh, well, you got this pink parallel that's numbered out of 299 or whatever, and it becomes another hit, even though in most cases it's like $1 card.
Yeah, well, like I said, I feel like this was, from a physical standpoint, it was more scarce. I don't know what that scarcity is, and obviously it hit EPAC, so that tells you that, and it's still there. So we're almost at least a few weeks in since its release on EPAC, so it hasn't sold out on there. So there's plenty of product available as long as you go to EPAC if you can't find it. And it's half the price. You just have to deal with your cards being locked into.
And maybe it doesn't really matter what the payoff is. As Tim has always said, this is becoming more and more like a casino. And I just wonder if the card companies are like, you know what, just raise the cost of entry, because if it's the itch, the gamble, the big score, the hunt, the chase, whatever, people are gonna pay to get that urge, whether that means going to a break or buying the box. Now, there's people that, like, I'm with Tim. If I was at the Spectacular and I saw that box and I would have wanted to buy it and it was $400, I would say no thanks, because just 2 years ago, these boxes of not this product, but other products were like 150, 200, 220. Now all of a sudden we're in the $400 range. I mean,
at least you said thanks. I'm not that nice.
And then the other thing too is it's a matter of also trying to figure out, okay, so what's a mid-level product? What's a high-end product? If $400, and this is already, to me, priced like a high-end.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not. And we're gonna look at the cards now, and they're nice cards, I will say. And we all know how the hobby receives even like if the rookie's number 250, we know that the young guns of that same player that they print millions of will be worth more. So what are we doing here? Like, why buy this product? It's a shame because I just wonder if I think the way to vote is vote with your feet. Like, don't buy these products, and this way maybe the price will come down. I don't see prices coming down because it doesn't work that way. When you start pricing boxes a certain amount, you can't go back, I feel. And I just feel like in terms of buying boxes, the last box I bought was Series 1. And before that, it might have been Series 2 of last year. So it's becoming more and more infrequent that I'm buying a box. When that was like all I used to do, it was affordable, it was fun. You get what you get, and you help build yourself a set. Now you're like, you know what? Maybe someone put the set together for me because one box is not going to get you there anyways, not even two. And you're like, you know what? I'll buy the set for $50. Someone will sell it to me, or I'll buy the rookie I want for $200. Hey, I'm saving money here. A box is $400. I could buy the Schaefer Young Guns for what, $250? I'll buy that.
Right.
So anyway, but that's
right. But you might get the gold numbered out of 250.
That's the thing. It's the gamble.
And
it's the gamble. What you might get, and then you don't get it. Like I feel like you're. Look, this is following the sports gambling pattern. I think it's in that same realm, which is weird because opening packs and collecting was always, it's always never know what you're going to get, but no one ever really equated it with gambling. And now I feel like we're in the same place. And if you think about it, if you think about Fanatics, they're in the gambling space, right? For sports gambling. This is just an extension of that.
Yeah, and I'm looking real quick at the odds on the e-pack version. So, okay, you know how like we might buy like Upper Deck Series 1, right? We get our base set and then we go, okay, I want to get the rest of the short prints, go on e-pack, right? Because if you buy Series 1, Series 2 on e-pack, and if you pull a Young Gun, that's a physical card, right? The base cards are fractional. You need to merge 10 of them or whatever. But what they did is they made the whole set fractional. So if you buy a pack, I'm reading this right now, collect and combine 10 copies of any individual 25-26 Fleer Ultra Hockey base set or 5 copies of any base set short print or base set rookie. So it's not like, okay, well,
you don't get the base cards.
Well, no, you don't even get the rookie cards. Like, let's say I buy a pack of Upper Deck Series 2, right, on e-pack, right? And I pull a Matthew Schaefer Young Gun. I get that Matthew Schaefer Young Gun. Yay, right? It goes to my e-pack account. If I buy a pack of Fleer Ultra and I get a Matthew Schaefer card, I need to get 4 more of it to combine to merge into a physical card. So this is one of those sets kind of like a...
you know what that proves?
What?
That proves that this is not a high-end product. It's not even higher end than Series 1, Series 2, and Extended.
But here you're getting a speckle version, so you're not even getting like you're not getting like the normal version. So I guess that's why this isn't working as an e-pack product, because if you're like us and you say, all right, I'm going to buy some Series 1 in person to get my base set, or my Fleer Ultra in person to get my base set, and then go on e-pack or go on ComC and pick up the short prints that I need. That strategy won't work here because the short prints can be combined for speckled versions. Who cares? It just becomes another parallel that nobody asked for. Right? Yeah. I mean, so I'm looking at this, and so that's why it's not selling, because if you still had an opportunity to get a Matthew Schaefer Ultra rookie, cool, then you can. But this is just, combine any 10 copies to get a speckle, or any 5 copies of a short print to get a speckle parallel of that card with the ability to have the physical card mailed to you.
No, but what this product is telling me is that the way we collect, which is the way most people collected up until this morning, I think, is now we're being told this is not the way to collect. You're doing it all wrong. To get in, you got to spend more money, or you got to play these games online and what does that do? Like people who are listening who are like, wait, this is becoming weird. Like I can't afford to spend this much money on this product because it's not the only product that Upper Deck puts out. They put out 50 a year. And how do you prioritize? And it just becomes really, really complicated. It almost forces a secondary market. And that's what I'm getting at. And it doesn't matter how great the set is. And I think this is a well-designed set. We can talk about that. I like the design, and it's an iconic, brand, Fleer. But it becomes like, oh, well, then I'll just try to pick up the cards I like. And if you're a player collector, great. But if you're a set collector, will anybody have this set for you to buy on eBay or at a show? No, who's going to put this thing together to resell? How much will that cost?
No, so it's absolutely won't. Because if you want the physical product, you got to bust boxes, and boxes are $400. Right? It's not happening. It's just not happening.
So it's not even like an option. It's almost meant, do not collect a set of this. We don't want you to collect the set. It's not the way people collect. Stop doing that. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they're trying to make prices have made this like it. You're looking at it like it's a high-end product, and it's not. It's clearly not. It's questionable as to what the hits are in the box. Autos aren't guaranteed.
No,
it's like one every 2 boxes potentially, or maybe 2.5.
Yeah, no.
And the best inserts that you're going to even get out of here are all case hits. So you'd be lucky to even pull one of those. There's no relic cards. And I mean, years past with Ultra, we've had like jambalayas that people could chase. There's none of those. EX 2000s was an insert. They made it its own set, and people hate it. So, I mean, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Used to get 1 gold medallion per box or per pack. Remember, which love it or hate it, it was what it was. But
the medallions, okay, fine. Some people are gonna like the medallions. They're cool, but all right, I'm not gonna pay $400 for a box of inserts. I'm sorry,
no,
I'm not doing it.
So looking at the cards here, so the first 2 that you see if you're watching the video of this podcast of Cole Caulfield and Lucas Dostal, those are the base cards. And then Connor McDavid is an example of a short printed veteran card. So they have the same design. At first glance, I just thought it was 150 veterans, 50 rookie cards. But then when I looked again, it was like, oh, no, these cards 101 through 150, you get 1 per pack. And in cards 151 through 200, the rookies, you also get 1 per pack. So, I mean, you'd have to buy like 4 boxes. If you were like, screw it, I'm going to build this set and I want to just at least get enough cards to have a chance to do it, you'd have to buy 4 boxes just to get enough. That gets you 120 short prints. So obviously you'd get 20 duplicates, but knowing the way these things are collated, you'd probably get about 55 duplicates out of, or maybe 40 out of, you'd end up with 60 that you need and like, or 80 that you need, 20 that you still need, and like 40 extras. So I don't know, like, yeah. So the design, typical for Upper Deck, 5 years of stats on the back, career totals. Don't mind the design. I like the use of diagonals because I'm a big dork when it comes to diagonals and drop shadows and stuff like that. The gold, or the silver foil embossing looks nice. I mean, this is what you'd expect a Fleer Ultra card to look like with the full bleed photography, the foil stamping. Yeah, I mean, it looks about right to me. It
I like kind of looks. Yeah, I like the number too.
Oh yeah, the player number.
The player number.
That's a nice touch. The jersey number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of overlooked that, but yeah, I like that too. So I mean, this looks good, and then I mean, like, the rookie cards. I mean, they'll if they don't have any NHL stats, they'll put in their like junior or collegiate stats, and that's fine. I mean, I don't need the rookie cards to have a different design. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need the rookie card. Like, I get it. We like Young Guns. We like Young Gun designs. And in fact, a listener suggested that we do an episode about our favorite Young Gun designs. And we'll have to maybe tackle that one in the summer when we don't have so much stuff coming out. But so we're kind of used to like the Young Guns looking different than the base cards. But I don't mind in this, they add rookie on the side, and I like that because it makes it quick to identify, and also it just, I don't know, just kind of draws attention to the fact that it's a rookie card. And I like it better when it would say ultra rookies. I like these. I don't think they're actually technically called ultra rookies. I think they're just rookies. But, I like having marquee rookies and ultra rookies and ice premieres. I like when you have like the name of the rookie cards for like the different sets. But
I like that too. I like that upper deck doesn't do what Topps does, with just puts a little RC in the corner, and it's the same logo for every set they ever produce. I like that this is different. It just says rookie, it just like says Young Guns. It's just different look. I like that.
Yeah.
So I don't hate the design.
Huh? Okay.
I don't hate the design. So
do you like the design?
I don't hate it.
Do you don't dislike the design?
Don't dislike this. I don't dislike the design.
You don't dislike the design.
Well, let me ask you this, Tim. When you were at the show, what drew you to the? Are you just a Fleer Ultra person? You like this?
You like the way the box looked like a Persian rug?
Oh, okay.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Fleer Ultra is a physical product this year. That's cool." And I picked it up, and I went $400, and I set it back down. Like, you're crazy. And I walked away. Yeah. And then I saw it at another table, same price, and then another table, same price. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Why is this $400? And then later I found out, sort of, whether it was true or not, that they may be scarce. So I don't know if that means people are hoarding them or what, but there's no reason to. It's not like
maybe the physical product is scarce, but the e-pack is not. Maybe that's what's happening. That's
the thing. It's been an e-pack product for so long,
right?
It's like you made a physical product to try something, and okay, if you're selling these to, let's say you're selling these to dealers for $200 a box, and they turn around and mark them up double, to where when you do release it on e-pack, the e-pack price of the box is $200. That tells me that there's something wrong. If you've made physical product out there, that means the supply had to have evaporated. Why would the price go that high?
Yeah, I wonder if my analysis is all wrong. My analysis is all wrong, and maybe because there's so many people in the hobby that are coming and going, that when they saw this product, they're thinking, "Oh, this I've never seen this before," because it's e-pack before, and they don't know what e-pack is. They don't do that. There's like,
so many people that still don't know what e-pack is. It's just crazy to me.
It's crazy. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's a run on it because they see something they've never seen before, haven't seen in a long time. They gobble it up, and they created this fake scarcity.
Well, especially if it's non-hockey people jumping in and grabbing
that's what I mean.
things.
That's what I mean.
Over the hype. Because they're like, holy cow, Fleer Ultra is still a thing?
Right.
And then they buy it.
And then they created this scarcity it's all fake,
Yeah, because I mean, everybody liked Fleer Ultra in the 90s. But what I wanted to ask you guys really quick is, so are we thinking Persian rug or Oriental rug? I'm not sure which one, but I'm pretty sure we had a rug like this in my living room when I was growing up.
I think my grandpa used to have a tie that looked like that.
Yeah, I think it just needs some tassels, or what are those little tassels on the side of the rug,
So from far away, it looks like paisley, but when you get really close, it's not. It's more like a pattern that you would see like on your grandmother's drapes or something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw that on wallpaper at a funeral home.
Wallpaper?
Oh God!
Well, then they got the wrong picture. They should have put McDavid, not Ovechkin, on there. Then.
Oh,
too soon.
Wow,
too soon.
Man, I wouldn't even gone that low. Jeez.
Yeah,
you guys are too much. Come on,
yeah.
you were thinking.
Body's not even cold yet, and we're going there.
It's just the playoffs. He'll be back next season. He's always back.
He's always back.
Yeah. So looking at some of the inserts. Okay, see if you can detect the theme here. We have Ultra Stars, Ultra Powers, Ultra Structures, and Ultra Team. No, they really like using the ultra word. Ultra stars are printed on PETG plastic. You get like one clear cut type card per box. I like these when I get them. It's like, ooh, it's clear. It looks cool. It's got shiny foily letters on it. But it's I don't know. Like when I get a clear cut card, it's always like, oh, it's a clear version of the same card that I already have, right? You know what I mean? And so this is at least a clear version of a different card, but it's not like I'd love it if they would just do 12 of them, first team all-star, second team all-star, right? Instead of it being like some 32 cards or however many it is. You know what I mean? I always feel like you go, oh, that's a cool insert set. I'll collect that. And then you look and you see, oh, well, there's 50 of them to collect, and then you're not that interested or whatever. But of course, all of these have like parallel versions, the ultra powers and the ultra structures and the ultra teams have autograph versions. Ultra power autographs are one in every 750 packs. Ultra structures, a little easier at one in every 200 packs. And then ultra team autographs, one in every 1,500 packs. So these, yes, there are autographs, but no, they are not like, one per box. And then looking at the other ones, you got medallions, which, okay, medallions are actually a separate insert set. It's not just like a gold medallion version of the card. It's not a parallel. It's just its own separate insert. You got mise en scene, which the film geek in me loves the name of that set, even though it's not a good looking set. That's if you went to film school, that was one of those words that your film teacher would.
I had to Google that.
You.
By the way, I had to Google that.
What did Google say? That's probably what I'm going to.
It translates to placing on stage, refers to everything appearing within a film or theater frame, including set design, lighting, costumes, props.
Yeah, so basically everything that's in the frame should have a meaning or purpose when doing a film. Well, this was when I was in film school. So that was something we'd always talk about. So like, just be like everything that you put in the scene is a deliberate choice. So that's what that means. But here
I see flowers. What am I looking at here? I'm confused.
And you know what? They all kind of have like flowers or some sort of like, I've only seen a few of these on Trading Card Database, and they're all kind of similar. So now, see, this is another one of those wasted opportunities where like this would be cool if it was like black and white and had like a film noir look, because this is really when it was kind of like, when you had like French cinema of like the 50s and the 60s where this was really like a thing. And, here it's just like, all right, we call it this, but it's just, player in front of flowers. It could have been called Flower Power, and that would have been just as good of a name, or probably more meaningful of a name.
Yeah.
Well, if these are going to be one of the big targets, which they seem to be based off of their hits, it goes to understand that the one you have on the picture there, that Matthew Schaefer, has sold on April 26th, had 19 bids on eBay, sold for $811.
Oh, shoot. Let me go find a top loader, because I still got mine in a penny sleeve.
Yeah,
okay,
you should probably put that in a screw down.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, wow. I have like literally, guys, like before we started this episode, I just like literally sat here and just put them all in penny sleeves.
So if that wasn't like a demo photo and that was something you actually pulled and scanned, that's one of the top cards.
Yeah,
that
well, I think
have ink
they're
on
they're like one in every 225 packs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look it up. If you go on,
I'm going to do that right now.
eBay closed auctions, you'll find it.
That's a good example of a card, though, that I feel like if Sal put it in a showcase, it would not sell. But on eBay, when you get people bidding, it'll sell. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, if you get competing bidders against that, it's going to push the price up because of
Right.
the hype over that. And it's going to be the certain people that know what it is. Not a lot of people that go to the shows are gonna know what this is or where it came from.
Right. Right.
So, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, it depends. I mean, it's not mainstream enough, right? Like a canvas. That's something that's mainstream enough that even though it's not like the Young Gun, but if it's a canvas Young Gun, or like even like an Exquisite or like an Ice or something, like those won't like jump out of the case like a Young Gun will, but they will eventually, like somebody will buy it because it's mainstream enough. This is an insert set from a kind of I don't know how we classified this set. A low end set trying to be less mainstream, but low end trying to be high end, or low end that's been classified as high end. And looking at the other mise-en-scenes, they are like just players in front of like flowers, it looks like.
Let me
patterns. They all are. I thought that's what they were called, mise-en-scene florals, but I guess not.
Let me put it this way though. Like I feel like when I go to a show, in my head I have a want list, but I'm always attracted to what I see that I've never seen before. And if I saw this in a showcase, I'd be like, what is this? Or where's it from? And now maybe I want it, but I feel like maybe it doesn't work with everybody, or with majority of people going to shows are not looking for that. What I'm saying is $800 in a showcase, this will not sell for. But on eBay, if you put yours on eBay, you have a very good shot at it because you have more eyeballs on it and there's bidding involved.
Yeah, and they didn't have parallels. I think they had autograph versions of these, maybe. Let me look here. Or maybe not.
I mean, it still is a rookie year insert. How rare are these? They're pretty rare. I mean,
they don't have... There are no autograph versions. I'm sorry.
And there's no number.
That's the thing. It's just a base insert. It's not numbered. Nobody knows. It's very, very short printed.
Sure. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Wow. Yeah. Hey, how about that? Well, we'll see. But
it's also ugly. But
yeah, and it's also of like...
It's confusing. It's confusing with all the flowers in the back, and like, I don't know. It's of all the stuff that's short printed, is very strange. Now, if you're a Schaefer fan, Islanders collector, whatever, you're gonna want it, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, here I'm looking at, here's a here's an Ovechkin that went for $87. Here's a McDavid that went for $203, and another one that went for I think the same, about $200. But what is this? What is it when people, they always put read in the title? Like this is when they tell, no, just a
Usually it says read because there's always like a ding in a corner or something.
Yeah, there's always like a flaw or something.
The actual full description, because
they're like, oh, read this because
the gotcha's in there.
Yeah,
it's my card. We drove over the card and now it's got tire marks on it. Like, oh,
yeah, the full description is where they go and say, this card is a tribute card. What they meant was
I think you click on it,
counterfeit.
Yeah, it's a tribute card, right?
Remember when everybody was doing the chaser packs? Is that still a thing where people were just basically doing their own eBay repacks, but they were calling them chaser packs? Do you remember that?
I mean, it's a thing everywhere.
No, what they would do is they would say like, say like the I remember seeing this a lot with the Connor Bedard Silver Outburst Parallel Young Gun, which was not numbered. The red one was numbered, and of course the gold one doesn't really exist, or maybe it does exist. Who knows? We'll never know, right? But the silver ones, what they were doing is somebody would have one, and they would sell you something called a chaser pack that was like, it might contain, it was basically their own repack. Like, I'm selling 100 of these packs, and one of them has this card in it.
I have not seen that on eBay in a long time, but I always shied away from those because you could lie and no one would know the difference.
Well, I mean, that doesn't stop fanatics.
Well, okay, but at least
too soon.
No, but the name of this podcast is Too Soon? ? No, but I wonder if it's fanatics or somebody quote unquote reputable, you have some kind of recourse. But if Joe Blow just makes his own homemade packs and puts them on eBay, I'm sorry, like it could be that nobody ever gets that card because it doesn't exist. I mean, I always saw those and kind of was like, no thanks. These are the same repacks you see like even at the National. Some dealer has them in a bin. I think Tim and his kids bought a repack once, and it was like a joke what they got inside. It was like
I had nothing to do with it.
no, well, you were kind of forced.
I voted against it.
No, but I'm saying that's typical. What your experience is very typical of a repack, and I don't think they're on eBay as much. I don't think eBay has banned them, but it's almost like a contest. I don't know that eBay should be supporting that.
Well, wait, you got to tell us what your kids got.
He told us at the National Recap episode.
It's just a bunch of garbage.
It was like 90s junk waxy stuff.
It's like I have enough 1990, 91 scorecards. I don't need any more.
Right, exactly. It was score. And
which is funny because I actually bought some because I was buying packs from a dealer, and it was something like, well, if you buy this many packs, then it was like less money.
Looking to pull that Lindros rookie?
No, you know what it was? It was I was buying Pro Set packs because they were like $1 a piece, but then they were like, I can't remember what it was, but I basically needed to fill a box. So I'm like, all right, I'll grab some Stadium Club packs and I'll grab some score packs. Remember we said we did our own pack war over lunch?
Yeah. Just trying to round out the number of to get to a certain dollar amount.
I really didn't want more score packs,
right.
I love it when like people try to sell me score hockey cards, and it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I have so much. I literally have unopened boxes of score hockey. Like, I know like one guy I played hockey with, he was like, hey, my father-in-law gave me some hockey cards. You want them? You can just have them. And I'm like, sure. He's like, cool, I'll bring them over. And it's like an open box of 90-91 score, an unopened box of 91-92 score, and an open box of 91-92 Pro Set French. And I'm just like, yeah, tell your father-in-law I said thank you,
Right. I mean, I feel like everyone hoarded those boxes, and they're still out there. If there's any doubt that was overprinted, there's no doubt about it. There's still boxes coming out, like out of the woodwork. I mean, it's crazy and whatever. But I have a question about this set, though. The Rising Stars, are those rookies or?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're rookies, and there's like different parallel versions of them. So like there are some that are like numbered out of what do I have here? They got the gold version, the platinum version, the red version, the blue version, the green, and the black version. And actually, I pulled a red version of Quinn Hudson, and I pulled a platinum version of Sam Renzel. So
I would think depending on what rookie it is, that those might be worth something on the secondary market because it's a rookie insert.
I mean,
they're better designed, in my opinion.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, and like the Rising Stars logo behind them, that's pretty cool. I mean, I would, yeah.
Well, the problem with this particular card is that I didn't know it was Rising Stars unless you wrote it underneath, but I couldn't tell by the picture.
Right.
It's like Wheel of Fortune. It's like Rising. S ends in S. It's like,
right.
Unless other pictures are different where you can see the T maybe.
Rising Stairs, because they're going to the next level. Stairs, right?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would have figured it out, but I mean, things like that are a little strange. But anyway.
See, we can make another fake insert set. What did we have? We had Icing on the Cake was one of them. And somebody suggested another one. I can't remember what it was, but now we could do like, I don't know, like call them Stairmasters or something because they're going to the next level. They could be like die cut cards that are shaped like stairs.
Can I be the bubble burster on this one?
Please. I mean, if someone's going to be the bubble burster, Tim.
So as much as I think that those Rising Stars should be something, they're not.
Yeah, no.
Because it's been out on EPAC for a while. So go on ComC, you'll find all of them. You'll find them in quantities anywhere from 35 to 55 of them, of people having them posted, which when there's 50 of a card available, the price speeds down to the bottom.
Yep.
So you can guess that the best cards are probably going to be the Demidov, the Seneca, the Snuggerud, the Michael Misa. It's going to be those players, right? Yeah. Well, the Demidov, which are all high premium in most of the products that came out this year, is $1.43.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's the top. Everybody else is below. Well, I shouldn't say that's the top. The Schaefer's the top. It's $6.
Okay.
So $6 for Schaefer, and everything falls in line behind.
A rookie card from the set that I can afford.
Yeah, you can go after that Schaefer. There's 26 of them available on ComC. Put in your order now, and you will get it by Christmas.
That's probably true.
Yeah. It's absolutely true.
Outlines is just what it sounds like. It's players with some drawing on top of them. Not quite sure how I feel about that.
That looks like Tron.
Kind of, but it kind of almost has like that. Remember, like that 90s aesthetic where they would like take a photo, but then they would outline portions of the photo in like a neon yellow or a neon pink.
Pink, yeah. The pink would definitely give me those vibes.
That's what I want. I want to see that a little bit more like that. You know what I mean? Like that would be that's how I would have. I mean, it's so easy to second guess, but you know,
I didn't mind the outline ones. I thought that was interesting.
It's interesting
design until I saw that there was the basic ones, and then green, and then red, and an autograph version. I'm like, come on.
It sounds to me that these parallels are not terrible, but there's too many variations of them.
That's always been my problem with these sets of late, is that there's too many parallels of parallels. So you might say, oh, I get 30 inserts in a box. That's cool. But then of the 30 inserts in the box, you're going to get I got like 2 outlines, and I got like an outline red. So, okay, great. So am I going to collect them both? No, probably not. Maybe just the blue ones, right? And the same with the Rising Stars. Is like I got 3 regular ones and then like a platinum one and a red one, which I get it, because one of the selling points is, look, you get numbered parallel versions.
That's the thing. Rising Stars is like black, blue, gold, green, platinum, red, titanium, silver, diamond, purple horseshoes.
Gold, platinum, red, blue, green, and black. But yeah, you're right. Don't forget about the red balloons, but that was later. But I don't know, do they still make Lucky Charms?
Yes, of course they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't eaten Lucky Charms in 40 years, although I will say about 20 years ago, I did buy more than 20, whatever. 2002, I bought Star Wars Episode 2 cereal, which was basically Lucky Charms, but it had like little R2-D2s and like little Death Stars and like little Yodas, like green Yodas, blue R2-D2s. Like they were like Star Wars characters that were the marshmallows.
There was no buy the Aldi version.
Oh yeah,
marshmallows and stars, and it had a little wizard on it.
Yeah, I love all these. I love their knockoff brand. Well, first of all, their food is good, so don't knock it till you try it. But just their like lately, I've been obsessing with their. They have these fake Oreos. They just call them. I think they're called like vanilla, or they're called like. I don't know if they're called sandwich cookies, but I call them faux Oreos.
Yeah.
Like faux Oreos. I call them faux Oreos. And they're like a third of what a bag of Oreos would cost you. And they're like twice as good. No lie.
This is like the Trader Joe's. The people in New York go to Trader Joe's and they have their own much cheaper version of the real stuff. And just the quality is just the same. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I can't do off-brand Oreos. I just can't. I've tried.
Go to Aldi, and you want to get the double stuff version. They are awesome.
Oh, I've tried the Aldi brand. I don't like them the same.
There's
something about them. It's just not right.
Okay, it's okay, man. You know what? You gotta do what you like. I mean.
Well, speaking of what's not right, that's a good transition for these 2 cards I'm looking at right here. Particularly this one. On my right,
Angulars.
The postmodern Monet painting.
Yeah.
So how do I know what player this is supposed to be?
No, that wouldn't be Monet.
On the
I don't think Monet was not Pomo. You're thinking of Picasso.
Cubism.
I'm not an artist, man. I don't
Huh?
know anything about artists.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you know we've gone too far afield when the word cubism got brought up here on the podcast. I mean, like you have to be an art major, a film student to figure all these inserts out.
Yeah, I'm loving this.
You got to be like super educated to figure this out.
I'm putting my art school degree to use in this podcast. You know.
And these angulars are also, they're pretty rare. 1 out of 450 packs. It's not
pretty rare, and they sell for a lot.
They do, okay. And they're ugly though. I mean, that's what I think. I can't even tell who this is.
That is Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, I think the name's at the bottom in silver.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read, but it's
right.
The Alex Ovechkin sold on April 22nd for $440.
Wow.
Why?
Because these are like a case hit.
I get it, but like they're kind of cool, but they're kind of not, if that makes sense. Like they're kind of cool, but like if it was like a Fanimation, although Fanimation lately I don't think have been all that great, because they don't look really cartoony. They almost look like photographs that have just been made into a cartoon, but they don't actually have any of like that cartooniness to them. Although Ultra, I remember not Ultra, Metal a couple years ago, I think I pulled like it was not I don't think it was a Fanimation, but it was like an anime version of Sidney Crosby, and it was a pretty cool card. But anyway,
by comparison on those, a couple McDavid sold for between $330, $340. There's one for $360.
Mm-hmm.
A Kucherov went for $230.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, if you get one of these, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm looking at ComC, which of course, you can make an offer, but yeah, I'm seeing here's someone's trying to sell an OV for $689.99. Someone's trying to sell a McDavid for $580. 2 people are offering Crosby's for $230.
I was actually surprised at how many angulars actually hit ComC.
Yeah.
For this being a more rare card, there's a lot on that. There's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's 1 in every 450 packs, so let's see. That's like every 3 cases, because you get 15 packs in a box. So 1 case is 150. So that's 1 in every 3 cases. So the ring producers that you see on the left here, that's a case hit. And the angulars, that's like a 1 in every 3 case kind of hit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, look, the artistic person, I don't want to say the artist in me. I don't know if I'm really a design. I'm more of a designer than an artist, but the artist in me, or the person who appreciates some art, looks at these and go, this is kind of cool. If these were 1 per box, I would probably try to build a set, because if they were 1 per box, you'd probably be looking at like $10 to $30, right? And maybe less if it's like of a more low-end type of player. But the fact that these go for hundreds of dollars, I mean, okay, great that people want them and that they're enjoying them, right? We want people to enjoy this hobby. Just because they like something and I don't like something doesn't mean it's wrong. I guess what I don't like is that the stuff that I kind of like is just like, I'm not saying this would be my favorite insert in the set, but if these were like 1 in every box, yeah, I'd probably put together a set, because they're just kind of interesting. And I like that. But it's like every time they do something that's kind of interesting, again, like the 8-bit or the Fanimation, they're so hard to come by. And so that kind of takes the fun out of it for me, if that makes sense.
Well, it's the whole, everybody's going to say, I really want that. No matter how ugly it is, I really want it. And then, well, you can't have it unless you open 17 cases of this product. And I can't even find 1 box. So I'll go to ePack. Or you can just jump on ComC when everything's been flooded on there. I mean, those reproducers are easier to come by. The base cards, I mean, the Crosby's like $10 and they all fall in line behind that. But the, I'm sure the one of ones are much more scarce. I haven't seen any of those. But the angulars, like I said, there's plenty out there. They've been selling both on eBay and they're for sale on ComC, but the prices are all super high. They're different. I'll give you that. They're certainly different. I don't recall a time, even with all the art cards that we've had over the years, anything like this.
Yeah. See, they could do another one. Now they could do one in the Monet style, and they could call it Lasting Impression, and it would be like that Impressionist style.
Lasting Impression.
Like stipple painting.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Lasting Impression. So what did we have? We had what were our stair ones called? Rising to the occasion. No, Stairway to Heaven.
Stairmasters.
Stairmasters.
Which we had Stairmasters, but there was stare with your eyes.
Oh yeah, okay. Stairmasters, and then we had
that would just be the gritty card.
Making an impression. Yeah, right.
Stairmasters.
And then what's it called? And then what was the other one that icing on the cake? Yeah, somebody suggested another one. It was pretty much like a dad joke made into a card, which all of these are kind of like dad jokes made into cards. But yeah. So anywho, of course there's parallels. So you got your gold that are numbered out of 250. I actually got 3 golds in my box. You get rainbow foils, 1 per pack. Those I like. They're nice. I mean, they're not the nice shiny foil board. Like you look at that and you just go, the 90s. I miss the 90s when every you got 1 card in a pack like this. So that's kind of nice. I do like that. I know there's other sets that do that sort of thing. But then you got your auto rainbows, which are anywhere from 1 in every 75 packs to 1 in every 335 packs, depending which card it is. You got auto rainbow golds, which are 1 out of 1. Auto rainbow reds, which are numbered out of 10. Gold spectrum. So that's the 1 of 1. That's kind of like their outburst version. You got ice, which are numbered out of 100. Platinum, which are numbered out of 25. And the ever popular printing plates. So, yeah. Not much to say about the parallels other than, they're parallels. And that's kind of that's the world we live in now. But as far as just like giving a quick like recap, the good, the bad, the ugly, as I like to call it. I guess the good is you get 2 short prints per pack. I mean, I think it is kind of lame that there's short printed veterans. Like if you want a McDavid card, it's as easy or as hard to get as a Schaefer card. Now, I happen to pull both of them in my box, but still, you get my point, right? Like, we're kind of used to the veterans being not short printed, but when it's just like, okay, your second and third tier players make up 1 through 100, and then your first tier players make up 101 through 150, right? I don't like that. But anyway, so 2 short prints per pack, 4 serial numbered cards per box, 1 clear card per box. Rainbow foil cards look nice. That's the good stuff about this set. The bad, too many inserts, too many parallels of inserts, and $14 a pack on ePack. But okay, that's, I guess you could get one of those, one of those, shit, I already forgot the name of it. One of those angulars. See, I wanted to call it cubism. One of those angular cards, right? The ugly, 100 short prints, including 50 short printed veterans. Why? Why do we need to do that? ePack boxes cost $200 each, and hobby boxes cost $400 each. So that's my good, my bad, my ugly about Fleer Ultra. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add to this list.
I mean, I think I spoke my piece on it.
Absolutely.
Aesthetically speaking, I think it's decent. The more I look at it, it gives me 0809 vibes a little bit, except for the little underline thing. But the name over there and kind of slanted like it is, that's giving me those vibes. But I don't think there's enough there to support physical boxes, the way the prices are. If these prices came down to a point that's much more palatable, I'm not even saying 200 is good, but it is what it is, because that's on ePack. When things fall between 150 to 200 bucks a box, generally they disappear pretty quickly. That seems to be their sweet spot. But
on ePack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this strikes me as like a $10 a pack kind of set.
Yeah, and I think that's how it has been the last few years when it's been ePack exclusive. So, and it makes sense to have it that way with all the parallels and the, being able to turn a base card into a silver and a silver into a gold and a gold into a copper and yada, yada, yada. If you're going to do that, then all of those get flooded onto either ComC or the Authority, if they're going to start using them for a few things. And then the price eventually bottoms out. So, I hate ending something with "don't buy this," because buy what you like, buy whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you not to buy this, but you'd be much better off if you want stuff from the set, tracking the singles down and picking off what you want, because the odds of you pulling anything that's going to be desirable out of one of these boxes are probably slim to none. And once more and more of this pours out into the market, they're going to have to drop those prices. There's no way that's sustainable at that level. But I mean, again, that's just my opinion. But when your chase cards are all serial number cards with few deviations from that, and your deviations are the cubism card, which some people are going to look at that and just say, this is aesthetically awful and I don't want any part of this. I don't care how rare it is. Or like we've already said, like the mezzanine card, the flower, the flower mezzanine. It's cool, but I don't know. I just don't know. Again, if there's a true scarcity to this product, that makes every autograph in here, because of how they fall in the boxes, that makes every autograph short printed. All right. Because of the rarity of the hits. If it's 1 out of 1,500 packs, and you can't find 1,500 packs to even have a shot at pulling them, well, there you go. There's built-in scarcity to all of that. But I don't know. Pre-sale prices and the current prices, and just it doesn't. I don't think there's enough there to support this in this product. I like Flair Ultra. The inserts are goofy. They're 90s-esque. Who doesn't like that? Obviously, people do, because they keep making it. So somebody's buying this. I buy the singles myself. That's what I do. I will get on ComC at some point after there's enough supply out there to push the prices down, and I will buy up as many Penguin cards as I can that are under $1. And there's a lot. And it's a lot of the parallels too. So
I'll concur with that and say this is why ComC exists. Like, just go get the stuff you like, spend $50, $30, get the cards you like, and move on.
Yeah, if you can get through their long-lasting, seemingly endless growing pains and wait for your cards to be shipped for months, then yeah, do it. Do it that way. That's what I would say.
I think what's unfortunate is, like, I wouldn't mind a base set of this, because I like Fleer Ultra, and I like the design of these. I didn't actually put that. I mean, I don't love the design, but I'm not like enamored with it, but I'm not like, oh, this design is terrible. But if I could pick up like cards 1 through 100 relatively cheap, but that's the thing. Then the other 100 cards are all short prints. So then that's just such an uphill battle. And then it's like, okay, and now I'm like basically like, okay, so now I'm going to have to buy a Sidney Crosby short print, right? Because he's going to be 101 through 150, right? He's not part of the 1 through 100 base set. So then it becomes too much work, and I'm just not that interested. Like with MVP, I'm okay with that, right? You got your base set, you got your short prints, and that's usually pretty straightforward to put together. This has got like half the set is like short printed, right? And then the box price is so much, and then people who do breaks, I mean, they're probably just going to be like, yeah, throw the base cards away because I'm not going to even bother with them, So it's going to be a tough set to build for that reason. So as much as I'd say, yeah, build a set, I'm not going to.
Yeah. I don't think no matter how nice of the packaging is and which Cartier sweater or Oriental rug you wrap it in, I don't think it really matters. A low end product at a high end price is still a low end product, no matter how you slice it. And this is where this should have stayed, in my opinion. I think this should have stayed an e-pack product and not gone to a physical box. Left it how it was.
Yeah, no,
I think that's just me.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I think it's a middle to low end product masquerading as something high end when it's not. And maybe that was never Upper Deck's intention. Maybe it's the idea people saw physical boxes, never saw them before, gobbled them up, and here we are now trying to figure it all out. And maybe over time those boxes will drop in price, or maybe, like we said earlier, you just pick off the cards you like, and But I'd be curious to see if we see a full set of this anywhere. I'll see any of these cards in the wild ever, and something tells me I won't. But,
if the autos were more prevalent, I will say this: if the autos were more prevalent and they weren't mostly, from what I've seen, sticker autos,
right?
$300-400 for a box, I think would go over better.
If you guaranteed an autograph, yes.
Yeah, if you guaranteed an autograph. But
sure. But you're
with
not
them
even
like they
that.
are. You're not even doing that, and they're probably going to be sticker autos. So,
right. And there's a big stigma with sticker autos in the industry now.
There is.
Yeah.
Some people don't care. Other people care a lot.
Yeah. That's a whole other episode, I think. But I agree. I don't care, but people increasingly do, and differentiating price between on card now and then sticker. So,
I mean, just looking real quick, a full set of 200 cards. Here is completed. That looks like a pre-sell because that was. Oh no! So February, maybe that wasn't pre-sell. $500. Here's one in March for $335. Here's one in March for $190.
So there are breakers breaking this.
Here's a set that sold April 28th for $325 for the full 1 through 200.
The prices they're all over the place. The prices.
It seems like they started high, and it looks like this one.
Still
oh no, I'm sorry. The one for 190. Sorry, that's a mistake. That was the full 100 card base set plus 40 short prints, so that doesn't count. Okay. So 325, 335, 500, and those are the and this one no, that's a partial set that doesn't count. So there's been a few of these sold as full sets, but not.
You can basically buy 6 boxes to try to build your own set, or you can just buy one for the box price if you want.
Right.
Clearly, that's not what this is for,
and none of it seems worth it. Right? Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, here's somebody selling complete base set and short prints 1 through 150 for $50 or best offer. So they're really just kind of worried about the rookie cards. And that's it. Not a lot of action for full sets on eBay, but just wait. I mean, eventually what'll happen? People will move on to something else. Box prices will drop. maybe to the point where other people start buying them and breaking them and opening them or not. I don't know. It's kind of like I said, so it feels like $150 product, and at $400, it's the fact that this is selling for more than a box of Series 2.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
Here, you want something to put things in perspective before we go?
Yes.
I just searched just because I wanted to. My morbid curiosity got me.
Yep.
So I looked up 0506 Flair Ultra complete set.
Mm-hmm.
With the Crosby and Ovechkin graded. Not just the regular set, mind you, but the gold medallion set.
Wow.
1 through 271. $725.
Nice.
So for the price of basically 2 boxes, essentially, you could have something like that.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have that, honestly. I mean,
right. That has aged well. This will not, as far as I can tell. So
I mean, you got Schaefer.
Okay.
And you got some other up and comers. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, guys, any last thoughts before we call it quits for today?
Milk of magnesia.
What?
I don't know. You said any last thoughts. That's my last thought.
Oh, but what did you say?
I said milk of magnesia.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
That's like for indigestion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. People used to drink it.
Are you telling us something?
Nope. That was just my thought.
Maybe this set gave him that. I'll add this. We talked a lot about this set, which is I think great. But 84 days till the National.
Yes.
So countdown begins.
Yes. You'll be able to find us all there, and one day I'll be there 5 days. Clemente will be there 5 days. Tim will be there. He's saying he's going to go 1 day, but we'll get him to go 2 days.
We'll get him there 2 days.
We'll get him there at least 2 days. Yeah.
I don't know.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Well, with all that being said, I guess we'll just we'll end it here. So, thank you for listening to the Puck Junk Hockey Podcast. As always, if you've enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe. Please be sure to check out the newsletter at puckjunk.com/newsletter. And if you'd like to sponsor this podcast by purchasing a t-shirt, you could do so by going to shop.puckjunk.com. And until next time, collect what you like.